keeps us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
How diddly do. How diddly do. All right, we're going to do tradition 8. Try to find a topic. I got a deep, meaningful topic. I couldn't come up with one. Not feeling too deep today. So, that could change in a matter of seconds. So, my free time on Restream is up. I logged on. They're like, if you'd like to go live, you're going to need to buy a program. Hey, I got 3 months free, so that's $60. That kind of helped out, right? So, hi, Ingrid, Leisure. Good to see you both. We have 12 by 12 today. Can't really go more than that, than a half hour or so. I got my therapy. That too. Thank God. What a good day. It's a good day for therapy. I need it today. So I was able to get down to the funeral, and I got back and did what I was supposed to do. So, yeah, there were some people there. They just walked past me. I don't think they recognized me. Because they haven't seen me. Some people haven't seen me since I got soda almost 9 years ago. Hi, Claire. It's good to see you. Including some other grandparents for my grandkids. They walked right by me, and I'm all, hey, Crystal, how you doing? And she looked back, and she just nodded. I think she figured it out once I sat next to my wife. I think she figured out. I'm a lot bigger. I did not eat when I was drinking. I looked like I was big, kinda, but I was bloated, is what I was. Yeah. And bloated. All right. Sorry, a little STP. Dead and bloated. Yeah, if only more people could recognize when it's a good day for therapy. I think my therapist actually looks forward to sitting down with me, because I get right to shit, man. I don't. I've been going to therapy longer than she's been a therapist. I guarantee that. My therapist, she's actually a little bit younger. I wanted somebody that seemed a little more worldly, that was a little bit more open-minded, because sometimes I have questions that are outside my purview that I just don't think a white male would get. So, yeah. So she's a young lady, and I learned a lot from her. She's helped me out a lot. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. That's right. I'll be one of the only Dions you ever know. And I'm not trying to be racist, but I'll probably be the only white Dion you'll ever know. All right. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I don't know how many times, probably 3 or 4, that I had to listen to my girlfriend at the time and trying to explain to everybody how I was not black. I was named after a white dude too, an Italian dude. So, but people are like, Neon Dion. I'm like, oh, you got Neon Dion's name. I'm like, I'm older than him. He got my name. Let's get this right, man. All right. But most Dions that you meet seem to be pretty cool, man. Here's a good joke, right? So I remember I used to get these calls. I used to get these calls for the Colorado Art Institute. Okay. Now, I would never go to the Colorado Art Institute. I can barely even draw stick figures, but I'm really good at drawing those. Art's just not my thing. Yeah, I'm decent at coloring, staying in the lines. And I kept getting these calls. I'm like, you got the wrong person. You got the wrong person. Was this Dion Miller? I'm like, yeah, but it's not the Dion Miller you're looking for. Right. And I was working at this place called Sashco. It was a warehouse job. And I was talking to the guy that does the uniforms, because you got shirts, right? They're pretty good shirts too, man. So he's ordering them. He's like, okay, what's your name? I'm like, Dion Miller. And I'll spell it for you. He's like, my best friend has this same exact name. I'm like, oh, he even spells it that way? He's like, yeah. I'm like, did he go to the Colorado Art Institute of Colorado? And he's like, yeah, he went there for years. I said, tell him to pay his fucking bills. All right, let's get started. Now that I yak for sure, this isn't very long. It's only like 3-4 pages, which isn't very long for me. So, tradition 5, each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. It is our only purpose. That is all AA does. Well, it's not all it does, but it is the primary purpose. When we get together for group consciousness, we should talk about what's going to make it best for the newcomer. All right. Somebody brought up in the last group conscious that they, have cameras on. All right. Which is kind of a thing. And, and what we came to was, well, it can't be a control thing. Certainly can't be a control thing. So it's more of an encouragement. We encourage people to turn their cameras on, all right? Because you do become more accountable when you're seen. Not all of them can do it, though. Sometimes people are at work. I know I've been in a meeting. Sometimes I'm in the doctor's office and stuff. So anyway, shoemaker, stick to thy last. Better do one thing supremely well than many badly. That is the central theme of this tradition. Around it, our society gathers in unity. The very life of our fellowship requires the preservation of this principle. Yeah. It's the one principle we cannot deter from. Okay. Sounds like the kids are home. So everybody was meeting for a reception after the funeral. That everybody went to. I had to get back so I could run the noon meeting. It isn't that I'm out of place, but I don't want to overstay. I'm the other husband. Not that I've ever been treated differently or anything by that family. They've always treated me very kindly. They have. And it's a mutual thing. They're good people, man. Even her ex-husband, he was a good guy. So Alcoholics Anonymous can be likened to a group of physicians who might kind of find a cure for cancer, and upon whose concerted work would depend the answer for sufferers of this disease. True, each physician in such group might have his own specialty. Every doctor concerned would at times wish he would devote himself to his chosen field rather than work with the group. But once these men had hit upon a cure, once it became apparent that only by their united effort could this be accomplished, then all of them would feel bound to devote themselves solely to the relief of cancer. In the radiance of such miraculous discovery, any doctor would set his other ambition aside at whatever personal cost. And we do that quite often in AA, because each of us, we're not terminally unique, but we are beautifully unique. Everybody's kind of got a thing that they're good at. Might be different, but every single one is needed. Absolutely. Every single person is needed. Every type of person, every gender, every religion, every type of job, these are all needed, right? Because once we achieve sobriety, We do other things, help people write resumes. We help them get jobs, teach them how to cook, how to sew, how to do dishes. You bet these are all skills, life skills that we teach each other in Alcoholics Anonymous on an individual basis. Just as firmly bound by obligation are the members of Alcoholics Anonymous who have demonstrated that they can help problem drinkers as others seldom can. The unique ability of each AA to identify himself with and bring to recovery to the newcomer in no way depends upon his learning, eloquence, or on any special individual skills. The only thing that matters is that he is an alcoholic who has found the key to sobriety. These legacies of suffering and of recovery are easily passed among alcoholics, one to the other. This is our gift from God. It is bestowal upon us. Its bestowal upon others like us is one aim that animates AAs all around the globe. We call it the language of the heart. It means we understand. It means we've been there. We know what it's like to suffer like you do. All right. Claire just said this in a meeting. We all earned our seat. I don't care if you're 16, 15 years old, you found out that you're an alcoholic, you still earned your seat. It was the misery, it was the loss of self, man. And that's something that we all get, isn't it? That's something we all understand. If there's one thing every single person in AA lost, it was themselves. Yeah. There's another reason for this singleness of purpose. It is the great paradox of AA that we know we can seldom keep the precious gift of sobriety unless we give it away freely. I'm going to add that in there. Right. Now, I'm not saying that it's not okay to be a drug and alcohol counselor, peer support, recovery coach. Absolutely you can. Absolutely. In fact, I wish that field would just be filled with recovered alcoholics, honestly. Okay. But anytime I talk to somebody that's in that field, one of my questions is, do you have any sponsees? What? Do I have any sponsors? Well, no, I help people all the time. No, that's not how it works here. It's not how it works here. Sponsees before clients. It's priority. From my own recovery must come first, and I cannot keep this precious gift unless I give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. Waka waka waka. Our prior suffering is our superpower. Yeah, dude. Right. If a group of doctors possessed a cancer cure, they might be conscience-stricken if they failed their mission through self-seeking. Yet such failure wouldn't jeopardize their personal survival. For us, that's much different. Survival. Those instincts that we have to live, to eat, to consume, to procreate, to control, to manipulate. For us, if we neglect those who are still sick, there is an unremitting danger to our own lives and sanity. That unremitting means sooner or later, you'll fall back into the depths of hell. You will. See, and I know all this because I did it. I was a drug and alcohol counselor at the age of 20. Right? I do stuff now, but sponsees come first. Always. Always. Hand of God comes first for me. Right? Under these compulsions of self-preservation, duty, and love, it is not strange that our society has concluded that it has but one high mission: to carry the AA message to those who do not know there's a way out. Oh, well, everybody knows about AA. Bullshit. That's bullshit. No, not everybody does know about AA. That's just our a preconceived notion. Back then, of course, we know they didn't really know about AA. Now, what does it say to carry the message? What it doesn't really say is sit in the rooms and wait for newcomers to show up. We're supposed to be bringing newcomers in. Okay. Now, the state has made that a little bit more difficult. So I'm not going to really push on that. But if you'd like to learn how to do it or things that you could do, let me know, man. Let me know. I'd be happy to give you suggestions. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means that, means the damage no longer controls your life. It doesn't determine your actions anymore. All right. We're going to get to the conceited Irishman here. Highlighting the wisdom of AA singles, a purpose, a member tells this story. Restless one day, I felt I better do some 12-step work. Maybe I should take out some insurance against the slip, but first I'd have to find a drunk to work on. You know that's Dr. Bob. He's the one that always took out insurance against a possible slip. Huh? So I hopped the subway to Towns Hospital where I asked Dr. Silkworth if he had a prospect. Now, see, they didn't say they were in a meeting. Look what he did. Listen to what he did. He called a doctor, right? Called a doctor. Said, hey, do you have anybody for me to work on? Anyway, nothing too promising, the little doc said. There's just one chap on the third floor. Might be a possibility. But he's an awfully tough Irishman. I never saw a man so obstinate. He shouts that if his partner would treat him better and his wife would leave him alone, he'd soon solve the alcohol problem. He's had a bad case of DTs. He's pretty foggy. He's very suspicious of everybody. Doesn't sound too good, does it? But working with him may do something for you, so why don't you have a go at it? I was soon sitting beside a hulk of a man. Decidedly unfriendly, he stared at me out of eyes which were slits in his red and swollen face. I had to agree with the doctor. He certainly didn't look good. But I told him my own story. I explained what a wonderful fellowship we had, how well we understood each other. I bore down hard on the hopelessness of the drunk's dilemma. I insisted that few drunks could ever get well on their own steam. But that our groups, we could do together what we could not do separately. He interrupted to scoff and asserted he'd fix his wife, his partner, and his alcoholism all by himself. Sarcastically asked, how much does your scheme cost? All right. Now, there's going to be a series of questions here, and you're probably going to get questions about AA. Now, most of you have been salespeople in one form or another. These are what we call rebuttals. Be ready for them. Or put them in your darn pitch. That's what I used to do as a salesperson. I'd find out if I got like one question over and over from somebody, I put it in my pitch. Because it meant I gave a fuck about what I was telling them, right? So, try and put it in what you're saying already. Okay. Because we're not really pitching people, but I don't know another word. I was thinking I could tell them nothing at all. His next question, what are you getting out of it? Of course, my answer was my own sobriety and a mighty happy life. Still dubious, he demanded, do you really mean the only reason you are here is to try and help me and to help yourself? Yes, I said, that's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle. Now, we get these people. Yeah, I still get suspicious when people start asking me questions. My thought is, what do you want? Quite often I'll be like, just get to the point, because I don't care about your questions, and the answer is most likely no anyway. Then hesitantly, I venture to talk about the spiritual side of our program. There we go. What a freeze that drunk gave me. I'd no sooner got the word spiritual out of my mouth than he pounced. Oh, he said, now I get it. You're proselytizing for some damn religious sector. Where do you get that no angle stuff? I belong to a great church that means everything to me. You got a lot of noive. to come in here and talking religion. Yeah. Now, no, not everybody knows about AA, but a lot of people do. And the biggest misnomer is that we are religious. So there again, just put it in when you're talking. I know you probably heard that AA's a religious program, but we're not. We're a spiritual program. We're not going to tell you what to believe in. It's not my job to tell you what to believe in. I've never even read the Bible, and I haven't. You may know more about religion than I do, but I do know that my higher power is working for me. That I do know, or I wouldn't be sitting here. Bring it up. First time I talk with a sponsee, I before we get started, it's in the series of questions that I ask, I ask, how do you feel about God? There is no wrong answer here. You cannot give me a wrong answer. Doesn't matter how you feel. I just need to know where you're at so I can help you more. That's all it is. And that's true. It's true. I don't try and sell anybody on God. They just want what I have. And I got a lot. I'm very good at getting people enthused for a better life. I'm very good at getting people's asses back to the program. I don't know what it is. Right? But people trust me. Right? And I don't want to blow that trust. So anyway, thank heaven I came up with the right answer for that one. It was based foursquare on the single purpose of AA. You have faith, I said, perhaps far deeper faith than mine. No doubt you're better taught in religious matters than I, so I can't tell you anything about religion. I don't even want to try. I'll bet, too, that you could give me a letter-perfect definition of humility, but from what you told me about yourself and your problems and how you propose to lick them, I think I know what's wrong. I love this next part. I'm a big fan of this next part. Okay, he said, give me the business. Well, I think you're just a conceited Irishman who thinks he can run the whole show. You know why he gets to say that? Because he's one too. See, a doctor could never say something like that. A therapist doesn't really get to say anything like that. Other people in their life. But an AA member, a recovered alcoholic who has a higher power in their life, who has done the work, can get away with saying stuff like that. Why? Because we are too. This really rocked him. But as he calmed down, he began to listen while I tried to show him that humility was the main key to sobriety. Finally, he saw I wasn't attempting to change his religious views. Heck no, I had to try and do that. I would fail every time trying to do that. That I wanted him to find the grace in his own religion that would aid his recovery. From there on, we got along fine. Yeah. Now, concludes the old timer, suppose I've been obliged to talk to this man on religious grounds. Suppose my answer had to be that AA needed a lot of money, that AA went in for education, hospitals, and rehabilitation. Suppose I suggested that I take a hand in his domestic and business affairs. Where would that wound up? No place, of course. Hi, Michelle. Years later, this tough Irish customer liked to say, my sponsor sold me on one idea, and that was sobriety. At the time, I couldn't have bought anything else. Yeah, we can't make it so overwhelming for a newcomer that it scares them off. And it's going to be tough to ask questions because it makes them feel stupid. That's what it did with me, and nobody wants to do that. They're like, well, I'm going to ask questions, but probably just plain to him, and so they don't ask. So tell them, let them know. Okay. How are we going to do that? Share your experience, strength, and hope. Tell what it used to be like, what happened, and what it's like now. That's usually your best bet. have a candid conversation. Okay. There isn't anything that you need from this person. So it's not like there's any pressure for anybody to really do anything. But because of who you are, you're uniquely situated that you can talk to this person on a much different level than most other people. Yeah. So our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. It's true. It's true. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget that season 3 of Daredevil's on tonight. Maybe it's season 4. Season 4. I'm watching it. It's also got one of my favorite actors in it, Vincent D'Onofrio. I forget. I don't know how to. He was in Law and Order, Criminal Intent. He's the guy that leaned. He was the leaner. He was in a lot of stuff. He was the bug in MIB. But he makes the best kingpin, man. He's awesome. I love Vincent. He's one of those men he's one of those people where if I actually met him, I'd probably get nervous because I like him that much. Not many people I'm that way with. I met a lot of stars and I'm just, ooh, oh, they were on TV. Oh, I don't care. The job is to entertain me. They should be thanking me for buying their shit. All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And